Hi, it is June 14th, 2022. We just finished our second LEGO open house event where we showcase a bunch of the sets that my wife and I have collected over the years, and we wanted to give you a show of what we showed our guests that came through. We had about 110, 120 people come through this year, and we were really excited to have them in person. So let's see what we showed them. So first up here on this stand we have at our front, we have the Pride Month display. We have the Lego 3-in-1 creatorship, and we have the Adidas Superstar shoe. And then over here, we have some of my own creations. This is a scorpion. We live in the desert, and this is the only scorpion allowed in this house, but it's my own creation on top of just a giant brown pyramid of extra brown pieces we had. Then we come to the Las Vegas skyline, because we live in Las Vegas, and so this is a handful of the hotels and casinos that are downtown, and they are built relatively to scale, especially on how the height works, because some of these are built pretty closely to how they should be in relation to each other. And then we come to the Lego Titanic, the largest set there is by volume, second largest by piece count, came out last year, and people have asked how strong and sturdy it is. You know, you can pick it right up. It breaks into 3 pieces. You can see the interior of the ship. So there's a lot of really neat things here, and this was a neat showpiece collector's item to show people at the beginning, and that's why we put it here. And then over here we had a little welcome table. The botanical sets, this bonsai tree and the birds of paradise my wife built, as well as the ship in the bottle set. And then we have the Once Upon a Brick Lego Ideas set, and we have the Jack and the Beanstalk display on that. We have a few Lego books here. And then over here, I keep these at my office, but this is the Lego globe that came out earlier this year, and the Lego typewriter that came out last year. So follow me this way. My wife was kind enough to do some nice balloon art and other decorations. At this table, I recently went to an estate sale and found a few Lego items with a friend of mine. This is an Exo Force set, and this is a Firefighter City set from 2007. So it's kind of neat to pick up some sets that have been out of print for the last 12 to 15 years at an estate sale. And then here is a display piece that shows a bunch of our minifigures. My father-in-law actually built this for me, and so we filled it up with superheroes, Disney characters, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. We got all kinds of stuff on here. And then we come to our Disney table, where my wife built these. These are pretty new. We got them at the Lego store, Mickey and Minnie. And then we have the Disney Castle, which if you've ever been to Disneyland, Disneyland or Disney World, this should look pretty familiar. And on the back, you can see there's quite a few rooms that they made for all the different Disney princesses. Not all of them, but quite a few are represented there. And then over here we have a little Winnie the Pooh set that came out in 2021. And moving to the next table, this is all Hogwarts Harry Potter themed. So we have the Hogwarts Express. This train came out several years ago. And then we have the large Hermione and large Harry Potter minifigs. And here in the middle, we have the Hogwarts set that has over 6,000 pieces and is one of the largest sets there is. And over here we have Hedwig, who flaps his wings if you give him a little twist there, and one of those little class books that they have. And we're going to move into our garage to see what we have here. So we set up some curtains or drapes to kind of black out most of the room. And we have a few themes setups here. We have TV Land that has Seinfeld, Stranger Things, and the Stranger Things set is neat because it can flip both ways. This is the upside down version, and that's the normal version. We have Sesame Street, and then both Friends sets, the cafe, and then the Monica and Chandler apartments that I've raised up to stand over the cafe. And then we have the Flintstone set. And then the Ninjago 10-year anniversary set that came out earlier this year. And this set also has over 6,000 pieces and is one of the top 10 largest sets. And this was one of the favorites from our guests that we had come through, the Mario box. This has multiple Mario 64 levels that just fold out of the box like that. So that was a good thing that people really enjoyed seeing. And then the Super Nintendo set, I left the top open here so people could see how it works, but the Mario just glides along as the image scrolls on this very retro TV that has all the old school ports and logos and labels and all that. And that comes with the Nintendo system, which has its own Super Mario cartridge that has the old blowing into port, and you put it in, and locks in and everything, old school. A few other video game things. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, Horizon Zero Dawn's new set that came out last month, the Gibraltar from the Overwatch series, and then I made that little logo for Angry Birds a few years ago and I've hung on to it. And here's one of my big creations, the Lego Pikachu. It's built roughly to scale with what Pikachu would be like if Pikachu were real. Lots of kids like taking pictures with this one, and this was all just from scratch, looking at pictures of Pikachu, ordering a lot of bulk yellow pieces, and trial and error figuring out the right size, but there he is. And then we come to our Marvel section. This is the Spider-Man Daily Bugle set that came out last year that comes with a whole bunch of characters from the Spider-Man universe. And then we have my own Avengers Endgame setup where the remaining Avengers here are standing against Thanos and his allies. And then I built Thanos' ship, the Sanctuary, here in the background, and its wings are folded up slightly like Thanos' ship. And then I made a Thor's hammer about 2 years ago, so before the new official Lego set of Thor's hammer came out, and it still holds up pretty well despite having a official counterpart. And then this is my Wakanda shield that Black Panther gives to Captain America in Infinity War. Then I also have one of the Iron Man pixel display cases, and this is the image that I chose for it. And then we come to a Lord of the Rings table. This is the Tower of Isengard set. It's the biggest Lord of the Rings set they ever made. This was my first COVID purchase, actually. I've always wanted it, and I splurged and got it. And then when I was a teenager, I loved building Lord of the Rings setups, even though there weren't Lord of the Rings Legos or set pieces yet. And so this is the Siege of Minas Tirith from the third book/movie with the siege happening. And so the siege towers and a battering ram are moving towards the gate. And this is the White City standing against the invading force. And then we come to a Star Wars section. So this is a really old Boba Fett ship. That's about 95% complete. I've been working on fixing it. My brothers and I had it many years ago. And then a Rancor that has Boba Fett riding on it for the recent Book of Boba Fett series. And then the Mandalorian's version of the AT-ST from Season 1. And this is one of my oldest sets, my oldest big set for sure. This is the Death Star from 2005. And it's stood for all those years. So I guess it's been standing for 17 years now. And then we come to more space-themed things. This is the NASA set. So this is the International Space Station. And then we have the Apollo rocket, which is a very, very tall set. And I don't like to keep it set up like this in case someone bumps the table. So I split it in two just like the set came. And of course, for those that follow my YouTube channel, Lego Ninja Warrior is a big thing we've done for years. So I saved a few of the obstacles and the logo to show that off. And then the Lego Stadium, which was built both because I always wanted to build a stadium and also because I filmed a lot of Lego Ninja Warrior things in the stadium. And so this has a ton of characters. It has about 450 to 500 seats there, including we have the box seats here. You have Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, Hogwarts has a box, Emperor Palpatine, Iron Man. So, the Lego characters that would be rich enough to afford a box seat at the Los Legos Stadium have box seats. And then there's just a wide variety of other miscellaneous characters around. And then we come to our Christmas table, which we have quite a few of the homes that have been released over the last couple of years, including the Home Alone house. And then we have our Lego Christmas train, which will have go there. The kids also like seeing the train in motion. And the Home Alone house is a lot of fun because it opens up like a big doll house or a movie set that's on display. So you can see it pops open to show all kinds of fun little Easter eggs hidden inside the set. So and then there's Marv and Harry, the Wet Bandits. And then this is a house of a relative of mine who custom built a house several years ago. And so to memorialize it, we decided to make it out of Lego. It's about 95%. I still need to add a few things, like there's a little patio here. But I made the house so that it splits into 5 big pieces so that you can see inside the floor plan. And so that is going to eventually go to that relative and will be something they can always remember their house by if they ever move. And then our last table is this one in the center. So we have the Roman Colosseum. This came out 2 years ago. It's also over 9,000 pieces like the Titanic, and this is the 3rd biggest set by piece count. And it is both a very large set and annoyingly difficult set to build because the detail on this is very minute and repetitive, but looks very neat once it's finished. And then we have the Lego Treehouse, which is unique because these plant pieces, or the actual leaf pieces, are supposed to be made of some kind of plant polyurethane instead of the usual plastic meld that Lego uses for their pieces. And then the thing that everyone enjoyed the most, or at least the kids enjoyed the most while they came to see, was the interactive roller coaster and Ferris wheel. So there's the Ferris wheel going, and of course the roller coaster was a big hit because we let the kids come crank the handle on this so they could see the roller coaster go down. Who doesn't like a good Lego roller coaster? And so that is what we did for our friends and family and neighbors to come see, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing this as well. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting on buying all the Legos.